Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are here to give you online class. This is GP Sharma. I am teaching you social studies. The lesson today we learn is organs of the government. Or state. Under this organ of the government, you know there are three organs of the government to run the state. To run the activities of the country, there are three organs of the government. These three organs are legislature, executive, and judiciary. This class is equally useful for SE appearing student, because you will get one short question and one long question from Unit 5, and this is Unit 5 for Social Studies. This is actually, I have taken this topic from Unit 5, and this is legislature, which what we are going to discuss today. This is 5.1, and under 5.1 there is legislature in your Social Studies book, and this lesson is very much important for the SE appearing students and our class 10 students who has recently passed class 9. And here we are going to discuss about legislature today. Organs of the government or state. There are three organs: legislature, executive, and judiciary. These three organs together, they run the country, they run the activities of the country. And we study today the composition or formation functions of legislature. Actually, legislature may be different in different countries. We are talking about Nepal's legislature, what is the composition or how the legislature of our country is formed. In our country, legislature is formed in the way that according to 2072 new constitution, we have 275 members in the legislative parliament, because federal legislature is the one legislature which is present at the center, and we have 7 provinces. Particularly in each province also there is legislature, but our federal, we are going to study first about federal legislature. In federal legislature there are 2 houses. Federal legislature there are 2 houses because it is bicameral. We have at the center bicameral legislature, and in the province we have unicameral legislature having only 1 house, provincial assembly. Here in federal legislature we have 2 houses because it is bicameral legislature, and these 2 houses, one is House of Representatives, and another is National Assembly. These are the 2 houses in our federal legislature: House of Representatives and National Assembly. And in the provincial, in 7 provinces, in each province, I already told you, there is 1 provincial assembly. This is in each province, provincial assembly, and there is unicameral, only 1 house, and there are 2 houses in federal legislature at the center, according to the present constitution of Nepal. House of Representatives, what I was telling you here is House of Representatives contains 275 members, and this National Assembly contains 59 members. So we can call it upper house and lower house as well, National Assembly and House of Representatives respectively. 275 members are there, and out of 275 members, 165 and 110 are divided. For what purpose they are divided is 165 members, they are elected from 165 constituencies. This we call it FPTP electoral system. That is first past the post electoral system, and another we take 110 representatives are elected on proportional basis. Proportional electoral system. So 165, this is direct election, and it is called indirect election. This is direct election. We have 165 constituent assembly in our country, and from 165 provinces, 165 constituent assembly, 165 members are elected. 165 and 110 members are elected from proportional electoral system. How this happens? Total 275. How this happens? You may be confused. FPTP. What is mean by FPTP? First past the post electoral system. FPTP means, suppose our country Nepal is one country, and here we have 165 constituencies. Suppose you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. 165 constituencies we have, and in these 165 constituencies, during the time of election, from constituency 1, Nepali Congress, CPN, UML, or let's say Communist Party of Nepal, CPN, UML and Maoist are same now, and forum like this, all party give candidate, all party political party, those which are contesting in the election, they give candidacy, and accordingly election will be held, and which candidate of which party wins from constituency 1. Suppose from constituency 1 Nepali Congress won the seat, so Nepali Congress won from constituency 1. Maybe from constituency 2 CPN or Communist Party, and constituency 3 Forum wins, constituency 4 again Nepali Congress wins. Like this, various party members, they are elected from each constituency, and 165 members are elected from 165 constituencies in the country. Now for House of Representatives, actually election of the parliament, and 110, these 110 members are elected like this. This whole Nepal is one constituency, and people vote Nepali Congress, people vote CPN UML, people vote CPN Maoist, people vote Forum. Like this, this whole country is one constituency, and people vote to different political party, and different political party give. Suppose, for example, only for example, this doesn't happen. For example, Nepali Congress won 110 member. If Nepali Congress won 110 member, then 110 member is given from Nepali Congress only for proportional seats. And actually proportional means in this 100 seat Nepali Congress won the whole country's 110 seat, and Nepali Congress is giving now candidates or the people for the House of Representatives. 110 member Nepali Congress is giving. That means it has to give Dalit, Adivasi, Janajati, Madhesi, Muslim, women, disabled, marginalized, all this type of people are given by Nepali Congress as members in the House of Representatives from proportional electoral system. In this way, 165 from direct election, 110 from proportional election system, total 275 members are elected in the House, in the Parliament, Federal Legislature. This is House of Representatives. And now 59 members are there in the National Assembly, 275 in the House of Representatives, and 59 members in the National Assembly. In the National Assembly, 56 members are elected from 7 provinces, 8 from each. 7 into 8 is equal to 56. So 7 from each province, from 7 provinces, 8 from each province, altogether 56 members are elected for the National Assembly, and 3 members, they are appointed, they are nominated by the President on the recommendation of the government of Nepal. So 3 members on the recommendation of government of Nepal are appointed by or nominated by the President, and 56 members are elected from each province, 8 members from each province. In this way, 59 members altogether in the National Assembly. In this way, House of Representatives is composed of 275 members, and National Assembly is composed of 59 members. This is bicameral legislature in our federal legislature, federal parliament, let us say. So, in this way, this is the composition of legislature in our country. And in the provincial legislature, we have to study later on. This is federal legislature only, federal parliament only. In conclusion, you have to understand that in federal legislature there are two houses, that is bicameral legislature we have, and in each house there are 275 members in House of Representatives, and there are 59 members in National Assembly. 165 members are elected from first past the post electoral system in House of Representatives, and 110 members are elected from proportional electoral system, and altogether 275. And in National Assembly there are 59 members. 56 members are appointed, nominated by the 56 members are elected from 7 provinces, 8 members from each province, and 3 members are nominated by the President on the recommendation of the government of Nepal or Council of Ministers. In this way, our federal parliament or federal legislature is formed. Now, here I would like to talk about Speaker and Deputy Speaker. When House of Representatives is completed, when House of Representatives is formed, then in the House of Representatives there is one Speaker and one Deputy Speaker. And in the National Assembly there is one chairperson, let us say. There is one chairperson and vice chairperson. To conduct the meeting of the House of Representatives, there is one speaker and one deputy speaker. To conduct the meeting of the National Assembly, there is one chairman and vice chairman, or chairperson and vice chairperson in the National Assembly. So, you may not know, or many of you may know the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. Let me tell you, Speaker of the House of Representatives is Agni Sapkota, and Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives is Shivamaya Tumbahamfe. Speaker of the House of Representatives, present Speaker of the House of Representatives is Agni Sapkota, and Deputy Speaker is Shivamaya Tumbahamfe, and the Chairperson of National Assembly and Vice Chairperson of National Assembly. Before that, I would like to tell you here about House of Representatives, how government is formed. We are going to study in next chapter about executive. From the House of Representatives, among the House of Representatives, member of the Parliament, the party which gets the majority of seats from that party, Prime Minister is appointed, and under Prime Minister, all other ministers are appointed. In this way, government is formed. That comes in executive. We will study executive later on. And then we have now the function of legislature. Function of legislature, first of all, you have to know there are 4 different major functions. First of all, you have to know legislature is the lawmaking body, executive is the implementing body, and judiciary is the interpreting body. Judiciary protects the law and interprets the law in the country, or the constitution, protects the constitution and rights of the people. So legislature, executive and judiciary, lawmaking body. Executive is law implementation body. The laws which are made by the legislature is implemented by the executive or the government or council of ministers. And judiciary implements the law. Those law which is implemented, whether it is implemented correctly or not, judiciary looks after that. It interprets the constitution or explains the constitution and other law in the country, and it protects the right of the people. So these are the main function of legislature, executive and judiciary in the country. Separately, talking about legislature, we have here, first of all, law-making function or formulation of law by the legislature. This is first one. And second one, administrative function. Third one, financial function. And third one, financial function. And fourth one, constitution amending function. These are the four major functions of legislature: law-making function, administrative function, financial function, and constitution amending function. In law-making function, actually legislature makes the law, and this law, while making laws, we come here one term. It is very important to know: bill. Bill is passed in the legislature. A bill is a draft proposal presented by any of the member of parliament in the House of Representatives, and this bill is discussed, and if necessary, by discussing among the members of parliament, members of House of Representatives, this bill is amended if necessary, and after amending, it is passed by the House of Representatives and sent it to President for approval. When President assents the bill, when President approves the bill, bill which is presented in the Parliament or House of Representatives, discussed by the member of House of Representatives and passed by the House of Representatives, and it becomes the law, and it goes to the President, and President approves it, and after the approval of the President, the law is made, and this law is implemented by the executive in the country. So in this way, law is made. I talked about bill. This bill actually is presented to make the law. Different law is required, and accordingly, member of parliament, any of the member of parliament, they put the proposal. This is the bill. While making the law, they put the proposal, and this draft proposal is discussed by the lawmaking body, that is House of Representatives. And after this, it is passed, if necessary, by amending, by changing something, by revising, and it is sent to the President, and the law is made and implemented by the executive after that. So this is law-making function of the legislature. And another is administrative function. Actually, the party which gets the majority of seats in the national level election, parliamentary election, from this party there will be Prime Minister. This Prime Minister is appointed from the majority party. The party leader is appointed as the Prime Minister, and Prime Minister appoints other ministers, and in this way ministers are formed, or Council of Ministers is formed. This Council of Ministers remains until there is the support, majority of support is there of the parliamentary members. If there is no support, if 1/4 majority, if the majority, if more majority, if the majority is not supporting the House of Parliament or House of Representatives leader, Prime Minister and ministers, if they are not supporting, other members they are not supporting, if majority is not there, then there will be no chance of remaining that government. The government will be dissolved. There is no confidence motion. No confidence motion can be passed by the member of House of Representatives, because no confidence motion means the member of parliament, they put the signature and bring against the Prime Minister, they bring the proposal that this Prime Minister does not have the confidence. So we do not have the confidence over this Prime Minister. In this way, Prime Minister is dissolved, Prime Minister is relieved, and after that the Council of Ministers is totally dissolved. In this way, administrative function is there. Another financial function, no tax can be collected, no tax can be imposed on the people or on anything unless there is an approval of the legislative body or the federal legislature. And annual budget is prepared by the finance minister and it is presented in the legislative assembly, and this budget is discussed by the legislative members, House of Representatives, and when the budget is passed, then only budget is announced, annual budget is announced in the country. In this way, financial function is there. And another is constitution amending function. When constitution, actually in every country there is a flexible constitution, and constitution amending or changing in the constitution according to the need of time is there. And here in Nepal also there is constitution amendment in the constitution can be made. While if we have to make the amendment in the constitution, then this House of Representatives of Federal Parliament can do that. Federal Parliament brings the bill, and when two-third majority passes the bill for amending of the constitution, then it can be done. So amending of the constitution also can be done by the legislature. In this way, these four functions are the major functions of the legislature, and legislature runs in the country. Legislature, executive and judiciary are given power by the constitution. They are given power and functions by the constitution. They can check each other. When they can check each other, there is no chance of any misdoing or out of the law or anything they cannot do. Just legislature checks executive, whether executive is functioning properly or not. Executive can check legislature, or judiciary can check legislature, whether legislature is functioning properly or within the law or not. In this way, these three organs are interdependent with each other. They are checked by each other, and they are run in the country. All activities are run by legislature, executive and judiciary in the country. So today, I hope you understand the composition and formation of legislature in Nepal and the functions of legislature and what is meant by bill, how many members are there in the House of Representatives and how many members are there in the National Assembly, and what are the different major functions of the legislature you might have understood. If you have any problem, you can contact me. Now I am going to give you some work here. After listening this lecture, you have to do these questions. This is your home assignment. Sorry, I couldn't give home assignment here. I will give you later on in the online page only. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Bye.